Hello there. In this training video I will be teaching you how to pass a SQL interview. I will give you a number of SQL questions together with the top answers. This will be a combination of technical and non-technical SQL. I want to highlight that this training video is suitable for all SQL job roles. It does not matter which role you are being interviewed for. You will be in a greater advantage in your preparation. If you want me to create a video for you that is based on a particular topic, please leave a comment below and state what video you would like for me to make. This video has been brought to you by 360 Media. To encourage us to continue making this content, please like, and comment and subscribe. Without further ado, let us get into the video. Question 1. What is a Relational Database Management System, RDBMS? This is a type of data management system which stores data into a collection of tables, which are related by common fields between the table. An RDBMS also allows you to create, update and administer a relational database. A good example is SQL Server. In a relational database, every row in the table has a unique ID called the key. The columns or fields carry the attributes for each row. With this you can identify and access data in relation to another piece of data in the database. Question 2. What is a primary key? A primary key is a field or a combination of fields which uniquely specify a row. It has implicit not null constraints. What this means is that primary key values can never be null. The main purpose of a primary key is to uniquely identify records and ensures that there is no duplication of records in the database. Question 3. What is a unique key constraint? A unique key constraint uniquely identifies each record in a database. The uniqueness is based on a column or the set of columns. You must be thinking about what the difference is in relation to the primary key we have just defined previously. A primary key has an automatic unique constraint defined on it. A very important thing to note: there can be many unique constraints defined per table, but there can only be one primary key constraint defined for a table. Question 4. What is a foreign key? A foreign key is a field or set of fields in a relational database that refers to the unique data values in another table. In the other table, this is often a primary key. The purpose of foreign keys is to link together two or more tables in the relational database. The next set of questions will focus on the 5 types of SQL commands. DDL, Data Definition Language. DML, Data Manipulation Language. DCL, Data Control Language. DCL, Transaction Control Language. Lastly, we have DQL. This is Data Query Language. So, explain what DDL is. DDL commands change the structure of objects in a relational database. All DDL commands are automatically committed. This means that it automatically and permanently saves all the changes in the database. The following SQL commands are under DDL: create, alter, drop, and truncate. Next, you will be required to explain SQL DML, Data Manipulation Language. DML commands are used to modify the relational database, hence the word manipulation. Unlike DDL commands, DML commands are not auto-committed. This means that the changes are not permanently saved in the database. The following are the commands that fall under the data manipulation language: insert, update, and delete. Moving on to the next one. DCL, Data Control Language. This one is all about control. DCL commands are used to grant or revoke rights to users in your database. There are 2 main commands for doing this: the grant command and the revoke command. Right now we will look at Transaction Control Language, DCL. TCL commands may only be used with the DML commands like insert, delete, and update. Please note that these DCL commands automatically commit or save all to the database, and that is why you should never use them while creating tables or dropping tables. The following commands are transaction control language command, commit, save point, and finally, rollback. The fifth and final SQL language is DQL, Data Query Language. DQL is used to fetch data or query the data from the relational database. Querying data is one of the most performed actions in relational databases, and the good news is, there is only one command. Select. If you are finding value in this video, please subscribe. Question 10. What is normalization in SQL? Normalization is the process of eliminating data redundancy and enhancing data integrity in the table. This helps in organizing the data and removing all duplicates. There are 6 types of database normalization, however the most common you will most likely see and use are the first 3. They are 1NF, 2NF, and 3NF. An in-depth video on the difference between these normalizations has been covered in our next video. The opposite of the normalization technique is denormalization. Yes. This is when you add redundant data to an otherwise normalized relational database. You might ask, why do we do this? The answer is simple. To speed up database access speed, which automatically results in improved read performance. Question 12. A cursor. This is an identifier associated with a group of rows. Think of it as a pointer to one row in a set of rows. Cursors are very much useful for retrieval, addition, and removal of database records. The next question is about triggers. A trigger is a code or programs that automatically execute with response to a specific event on a table or a view in the database. The benefit of using triggers is mainly to maintain integrity in the database. An example of this is when you add a new record of a student in the student table. The trigger will automatically create new records in the related tables, such as the exam, attendance, or even the table which carries scores. We mentioned data integrity. This refers to the accuracy and consistency of data stored in a database. Data integrity can also define constraints to enforce business rules on the data when it is entered into the application or the database. Question 15. A data warehouse. Think of this as a central repository of data which comes from multiple sources of information. The data is integrated from one or more data disparate sources. In the data warehouse there are subsets of data which are called data marts. These data marts are built to contain information which is specific to an organization's business unit. For example, HR, finance and marketing. Data warehouses are the core component of business intelligence and are used for reporting and data analysis. You may also be asked to differentiate between the truncate and drop statements. Truncate removes rows all from the table. Drop removes the table. Both these commands cannot be rolled back, so be very careful. 16. What is ETL? This is a 3-step process where you would have to extract the data from different sources into a central repository. Once the data is in this repository, it will be transformed. The last step in this process is loading the data into tools which would help find insights from the data for reporting. You may also be asked about the types of joins in SQL. Join is a keyword used to query data from more tables based on the relationship between the fields of the tables. There are different types of joins, such as cross joins, left and right joins, inner joins, left and right outer joins, and so many more. In this video we will cover all of them. Keep watching. Let us start with a cross join. This is a type of join which returns the Cartesian product of rows from the tables in the join. This simply means that it combines each row from the first table with each row from the second table. Left joins. If we want all the records from the left table and only match in records from the right tables, then we will use a left join or a left outer join. There is really no difference between a left join and a left outer. Both versions of the syntax will produce the exact same results. So what is a right join? If we want all the records from the right table and only matching records from the left tables, then we will use a right join or a right outer join. Yes. As mentioned previously, both syntaxes will produce the exact same results. Question 21. What is an inner join? This type of joins only returns the matching records from both tables. This is why the inner join is also called a simple join. Coming in at question 22 is the full join, also known as the full outer join. This type of join basically returns all records from the left table as well as all records from the right table. Question 22. Self-joins. This join is also an inner join where the queried table is joined to itself. The self-join statement is used when two sets of data within the same table are compared. This brings us to the completion of the possible questions related to joins. Depending on when you watch this video, in-depth videos with practical examples for each type of join should be up. Make use of those to see how this is applied in real life. The next set of questions are based on 3 SQL indexes. An index is a performance tuning method which allows faster retrieval of data from the table in the database. Types of indexes include the unique index, clustered index, and the non-clustered index. We will quickly have a look at each of these. What is a unique index? This type of index does not allow any duplication of values in the field or column where the indexing is applied. Like with the primary key, unique indexes can automatically be applied when a primary key for a table is defined. Next is the clustered index. This type of index defines the physical order in which the records are stored in the table and in the database. It sorts the data rows in the table on their key records, and this is why only one clustered index can exist in a table. The last index in this section is the non-clustered index. The non-clustered indexes do not alter the order of the table. It maintains the logical order of the data. You can have up to 999 non-clustered indexes in a table. Question 28. What is the difference between join and union statements? The join statement in SQL is used to combine data from many tables based on a matched condition between them. Data combined with join statements results in new additional columns in your results set. The union statement, on the other hand, is used to combine the results set of 2 or more select statements. Always remember that the data combined using union statement results into new distinct rows. Next we will look at CTEs. These are common table expressions that are used to create temporary result tables from which data can be retrieved and used in another query. CTEs work as virtual tables which are created during the execution of a query, used by the query, and then later eliminated after the query has been executed. The benefit of using CTE expressions is that it enables the user to more easily write and maintain complex queries. It is all about simplification. Question 30. What is a schema? This is simply a collection of database objects like tables, triggers, stored procedures, etc. We can also say a schema is a blueprint of a database which describes how the data may relate to other tables or other data models. With a schema, we can decide which users have access to which tables in the same database. Think of it this way. A user in HR can have access to view all HR-related tables in the HR schema, but they will not be able to view finance-related tables and data. In this way you can control access and ensure all users see what is relevant to their line of work as defined by the business. Question 31. What is a stored procedure? Think of a stored procedure as a SQL code that you write and store in the database in order to be reused again and again. This means that you will not need to write the same query every time you need to perform the action. Another benefit of using a stored procedures is that they can reduce network traffic between clients and servers. This is because the statements or commands in your procedure are executed in a single batch of code. We use keyword the exec to execute stored procedures, and you may also schedule the execution through the creation of a job. On that note, let us look at what is a job in SQL. A job is a specified series of operations performed sequentially by the SQL Server agent. In the SQL Server agent, you can specify which operations you want to perform and also at what time. It also enables the user to specify the order in which these operations need to be executed. This amazing automation tools makes your life 10 times easier. The next question is a simple one. It is about the keyword distinct. Distinct is used to eliminate duplicate rows and display a unique list of values. In simple terms, the distinct keyword retrieves and returns unique values from a table. You can use this with your select query statement. The next question is on the merge statement. This statement allows a conditional update or insertion of data into a table. In simple terms, if a record already exists in the table, then it will only update the record. However, if the record is new, then it will perform an insert into the table. The merge statement is a very popular clause among data warehousing because it gives you better flexibility in customizing your complex SQL scripts. And it also enhances your readability of scripts, especially if the scripts contain complex conditions. Our last question is on referential integrity. This refers to the relationships between tables. In essence, referential integrity ensures that relationships between tables remain constant. Think of it this way. Because each table in a relational database must have a primary key, this same primary key can appear in other tables because of the relationship to data within those tables. As explained earlier in the video, when a primary key from one table appears in another table, it is called a foreign key. Comment down below if you found value in the questions that we shared. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos. Goodbye.